Y'all, it's Rise and Shine. Grab your coffee cup, come spend some time. I know it's early, the start of a new day. No need to worry, it's Local Cafe. Rise and shine, baby, wake and bake.
You know I can't sing, y'all.
Clear out your mind, baby, just take a break. Local Cafe. Chill out with us
today. Joshua, thank you for re-upping your band world. Appreciate you, bro. One back gameplay. We appreciate you, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the coolest, the calmest, and the chillest in the entire LCU. You are watching Local Cafe. My bad, Beans. I was just rushing because, wife wanted breakfast. I was just trying to hurry up and get everything.
Wait. Not you. Grim got into the Discord and didn't tell me.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, anyways, good morning, Miss Beans. Let's go ahead and just get this start. Let's go ahead and get this stream going real quick, guys. If you don't know, we have the background music back. I think Local Cafe was missing the beautiful background music. So let's try and get back to basics, shall we? Let's try and get back to basics. RZ the Legend, Ken, if you sing, I imagine the AI song would be close to how you actually sound. I think, but there really ain't no telling. You know what I mean? But that's kind of why I try to match pitch. The funny part is they can't hear it on the other side. So like when I do it, they just sound like I'm just some a cappella karaoke wannabe, right? So it's just kind of funny. So one back gameplay. Appreciate you saying it's boring. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you keeping my chat rate up, and thank you for your concurrent viewership. It means the world to me. Miss Beans, good morning.
Good morning. Could you raise the camera just a little bit? It's cutting off. Good morning. Yesterday, first off, let's start with some breaking news. Yesterday, we actually received some of the samples for the coffee, Local Cafe coffee, and it was really good. Grim does not drink coffee at all, and even he was saying that it smelled delicious. So I'm really excited.
Hell yeah, let's go. So I'm gonna tell you, chat. When Beans hit me up and told me that it showed up, I was like, "Fuck! Why couldn't I just wait a day?" But with everything going on, with all this stuff, if I can be completely honest, I'm happy I'm home. You have no idea how beautiful it was, chat. If y'all didn't know, I didn't go to sleep Sunday night because I was thinking, Becky was gone, all that. Right, Wings was gone after all that shit. I'll stay in the house, right? I'll stay in the house. And then they did their all-day stream, or all-night stream, and it was just loud. It was crazy. Overt Lord got there. Doug Savannah with the beautiful Canadian 2 all day, every day. It's coffee time. We appreciate you, Doug. Here every day, sharing the love. We love all our donations here. But, so Doja, when does it go on sale? April the 1st. And no, that's not an April Fool's Day joke, according to Keemstar. It really is going on sale April the 1st, so we'll see. So, going back to it. I didn't get a chance to sleep at all. And my flight was getting closer and closer and closer. The time was less and less beautiful. So I just said fuck it and left at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. I started driving. Because, you know, you remember the storm we had come through, right? And that was pretty with the whistles and all that shit. I think y'all were at your cabin at the time. But
We were.
yeah.
We decided to retire early because obviously we have to wake up a little bit earlier than everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think it's worse for us because you guys had the whistling throughout the doors. We had the whistling like the doors and underneath the house because
Ooh.
our cabin is kind of like on stilts.
Bruh.
So that was a lovely experience. Kind of like Twister 2.
Beautiful. But no, so since I'm back home, if you want, like, you know, if, you know, Grim or whatever wants to stay asleep, you just have to join, like, live on air. And, like, because I'm going to be running everything from here. So, I mean, that way, if, you know, if Grim wants to get some sleep, he doesn't have to wake up with you. Just trying to help you out.
Yeah, the only issue is that he's the one that drives me over here to the studio.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could join through my laptop just at the cabin, but
That's fair.
we'll see.
That's fair. So, Nick Jones, Ken ran away at the end. Mr. Marine. First off, I'm not a Marine. Never claimed to be a Marine. Right? I'm not. I was in the Army. And I made it very clear. I was going to be there from the 20th to the 24th. Right? Because I have a life outside of this that I have to attend to. But it is what it is. I appreciate y'all being in there and giving me some feedback. I appreciate it. But never once did I claim to be a Marine. Never will. So.
You don't eat any crayons.
Yeah. Complexity is the Marine. I talk about him sometimes. He's the Marine. But anyways. So yesterday I didn't catch one show. Not one. Right? Because what was I going to say? I went to sleep probably about 8:30. No, 7:30. I went to bed at 7:30 last night when I got home. When I laid down, my wife joined me, you know, and she wanted to read some mangas or whatever on her phone. I wanted to watch a movie. So I turned on Creature from the Black Lagoon, right? From the 1950s, I believe. And I was watching it. And I've seen this movie a couple times before, right? And I just started dozing off and waking up. I'm like, fuck. So I was trying to stay up for a certain amount of time just so my sleep wouldn't be fucked up. You know, I just took my sleep meds and all that shit, and I just went to bed, and I just passed the fuck out, Beans, and I slept all the way through 11 hours, didn't wake up once. It was beautiful.
As you should.
It was beautiful.
You finally got into your bed and you're like, this is home.
it was
This is
great.
where I'm comfortable.
It was great.
Especially because a lot of people once they go into a hotel, they need a couple days to adjust. You only had a couple days, so you couldn't even adjust. Somebody said that Ken looks very eepy right now. I look very eepy.
Yeah, we all be in this motherfucker. But yeah, I heard of a lot of crazy shit that happened yesterday. Obviously, you know, Nightmare and Twiggy having what they did on Rewind. I believe Milkers had a little bit of drama, and then I guess Tina was getting blown the fuck up on her show in Queens. I don't.
So something that happened yesterday, apparently, they were trying to get donos in order to release one digit of Tina's phone number.
Jesus.
Then somebody leaked her phone number before they even got to the end. They don't know if it was Becky. They don't know if it was Michael himself. They don't know if it was some third party. But in general, they didn't get to release the numbers themselves. It was leaked. And then her phone would not stop ringing from like the moment that started.
That's terrible, man. You never want that to happen, right? You never want that to happen. But I don't know. Glenn Harris, all scripted, no need to discuss. So I'm gonna address that real quick. I can honestly tell you guys a lot of the shit that was happening, right, was not scripted. I know some things happen with Wings and that coming out or whatever. Yes, it is what it is. They've already talked about it. But like the Roxy and Becky fight, that was not planned, that they talked about. The I'm assuming that the number leaking wasn't, just based on what everything else that I saw, because I don't see Mike doing that, because then he'd want to pay to get Tina's phone number changed, because I just don't see him being that type of person. And yeah, I don't know. I had an interesting few days there. I'm happy I'm home, like I said. Will I ever go to something like that again? Probably not. Probably not. There was just way too many personalities. There was way too much tension, and there's not enough maturity there for me. There was
Exactly.
there was just too much shit going on that just should not have went on. And I think some people that came on the trip had certain expectations that what they could do, and they took it a little too far because they're trying to be some type of way. And I feel really bad, especially for our members, that I didn't get to do the Chucky experience with Roxy, because that's something we had already talked about. She knew it was going to happen. She was okay with it. Mike and Keem were okay with it because they kind of knew what my idea was, and they got it right. Roxy was okay doing it on live stream on our channel. She was okay with it. She just wanted the VOD for Milkers, right? We agreed to that. And then when other Chucky dolls got introduced, when there was the bullshit that was happening with it, and I really felt bad for Roxy, truly, because I can't express to you guys, every single time I came to that house, like if I left and came back or whatever, she'd run up to me and grab me and say, "Is it here? Like, what's going on with it?" And I'd like, "It's in the trunk. That's where it is right now." And I told her, I touched my ring and I said, "I swear on my marriage, I'm not going to surprise you with anything. I swear on my marriage." And, y'all know that means a lot. That's everything to me. That's the best thing I could swear on at the time. So I took the Chucky doll away, right? Because I didn't want to leave it there for any bad actors to do what they need to do, because we saw what happened with it. And if I can be honest with you guys, I threw it away. I threw it away when I was getting gas in my rental car. I said, "Fuck this thing." And I just threw it away. Not used, not touched, nothing. $100 Chucky dolls in the trash, because it just had bad juju on it from the experiences of everything, But what I will say is I did get the uncut sheets signed by Keem, and I got the other one signed by Keem and Boogie. Unfortunately, I couldn't get Wing's signature on it because we all know what happened. So for the Crowns and the Pay Pigs of Cafe, I will be doing a giveaway for the Keemstar signed one. Once Beans and Grim get back, we can figure out an interesting way to do it. We are going to do that, and I will be mailing it to you, whoever wins the giveaway. And we got the Cooking with Ken coming out here soon. I've been talking a lot, Miss Beans. I'm sorry. Let me give you some mic time. I apologize.
You're fine. I'm just listening here. Like I'm almost being lulled to sleep with your smooth voice.
Ooh, the smooth voice of Ken.
But when it comes to the cooking video, we've been trying to figure out what's the best way in order to put it all together. Because unfortunately, I have what laptop is this? Like the Surface something. And it doesn't have like an HDMI. It has like the mini HDMI, but it doesn't have like complete HDMI. It doesn't have like the Type C to connect it to anything.
Yeah.
So in general, like my laptop is not the best when it comes to transferring data, I guess.
Could you?
Twiggy says, yeah.
Sorry. Could you do it like on a PC when you get home?
Yeah, I could do it on my PC when I get home. But the issue is that everything's on Twiggy's. We'll figure it out.
Remember,
me and Twiggy have been, yeah.
Remember, Mike did like a Dropbox. Maybe they could do a Dropbox and put it in there. That way,
That makes sense.
access it from there. I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, we can try to do Dropbox. We'll try to figure it out as soon as possible because I do want to release that before we leave Fat Camp. I think that we promised it to the members, and we want to make sure that we're keeping up with our promises, because you see what happens when we don't.
Yep.
There has been chaos and mayhem and everything in between when it comes to Fat Camp. Sometimes there's a lot of fun moments, and sometimes there's a lot of petty moments. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed beforehand, especially when a group of people are meeting for the first time. Maybe next time it won't be so chaotic, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a next time, if that makes sense. I kind of agree with Xylee whenever she said that probably the main 3 or 2 shows should be doing big events like this. Even though she was very thankful for, Grim and I being here, because, we help out a lot when it comes to technical stuff. But the main 2 or 3 shows should be the ones doing big events like this. When it comes to something like, let's just say we have like a local con, then maybe all the shows should be there, because, that's, I think Savage is awake. That's when all, what?
It just sounded like Tina. That's all I was gonna say.
Nah, Tina's not at the cabin yet, I don't think.
That's what we got to get used to, that delay again, Beans.
We do. Before we both crash out.
Yeah. All right, now continue, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah, in general, LocalCon, everybody, because that's the goal, right? People are going to come to try to see their favorite personalities, if you want to call that. But big shows like this should just be the main people, the main shows. And okay, sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to multiple things. There are people being ridiculous in chat. But now I lost my train of thought. But there should be a crew hired. People cannot do this by themselves, especially not one person like Grim. There needs to be a dedicated crew that can do camera work, that can do production, that can do moving of the scenes. But in general, I think I agree with Xylee the most.
So the camping trip, right? I know it was just the one show, but like me, Rush, Sigma, and Richie, when we were there, we were the ones doing all that for them. That was like our whole point of being there, was to help, like on the set. So I told people before, I think Grim earned him. I think Grim and you have at least at a minimum earned your spot as like contract help for shows, just producing shows. I think at a minimum that should be looked at. That way there is some sort of compensation for what all you're doing, because you've proven yourself. Real quick, Ozzy the Legend again. Love you guys. Keep this working guy in good spirits throughout the week. Yeah, man. I'm talking about Grim. But
you heard that, Grim?
Yeah, he's talking to Beans, talking to Grim. Yeah, no, that's fine. I can only imagine I can tell y'all, chat, the shit they were dealing with and what they were doing, trying to make it all work. Like, it's just kind of one of those things. And I see Grim being the type of person, he'd rather just do it himself than explain it. And I can get like that as well. I totally understand that. But yeah, I definitely think y'all have earned like contract help at this point. But that's beside the point. So my big question for what happened last night, and we can get into watching this and everything. I don't know if you were there for the Rewind show. What happened with Nightmare and Twiggy? Because everyone's saying they got into it and it was an argument or whatever the fuck. Like, what happened? I haven't seen shit. Like, I promise you.
So when it comes to Nightmare and Twiggy, it seems like Keemstar was trying to give them a way to talk about it, right? He was kind of bringing back Locale Corp, but not exactly. So they were going to state what happened, state their case, try to defend themselves.
Okay.
But it got a little heated. I was there for part of it, but then I had to do laundry, so I walked away. And while I was doing laundry, there were a couple moments where I could still hear them from the laundry room. It's a pretty far walk if you remember where the gym is.
Yep.
I could still hear them like arguing, and I thought the way that they were arguing, like I was getting what's it called? I don't want to say a trauma response because that's not the word. But I was like, oh shit, it's gonna happen again. Like people are going to physically fight just
Like a
because they're
trigger
arguing.
almost. Like a trigger almost.
Exactly. I was like, do I have to run back? Do I just leave my laundry out and then it gets all smelly because it's not fully dry yet? But in general, yeah, so they started arguing. They were going back and forth on whose fault is it. They were throwing the excuse, I'm going to say excuse of like, I was drunk while you were there. Well, I heard multiple times that Keemstar said this and you should have heard it because you're the one behind the camera. And it's like, well, I can't pay attention to everything that somebody says because I'm focused on camera angles. And even Xylee was getting kind of upset with Twiggy whenever he said that. He said that I can't pay attention to everything around me because I'm taking care of camera angles. So in general, I think they're both upset at the situation. Keemstar gave Twiggy the punishment. We were trying to do like the whole, I think we were supposed to shave their head, but I'm not 100% sure. We were supposed to shave his head or give him a mohawk. I think that's what it was. Give him a mohawk. But the outlets outside, we only had 2 available outlets and it was overloading the power. Yeah. And so that's why the internet cut out for a moment and we were trying to scramble and get the stream back up. But we were going to do it in here. I don't think that happened because late last night, whenever Grim and I went back to our cabin to relax, which was not a relaxing experience because other stuff was going on, we went back to the cabin. Apparently, Glammy took the cabin that Twiggy was in because Twiggy was there with his... First it was Wings and Kelly's, then it was Twiggy and his wife's, and then now it's Glammy and her husband because Twiggy's wife left.
Oh, she left?
Glammy and her... Yeah, Twiggy's wife left. I guess she was only here for a couple days. Unfortunately, she was a very lovely person to meet.
She was.
So now there's Twiggy, Overflow, and Xylee in our cabin. And I was stressed out in the middle of the night because I hear... We leave our door unlocked, the first one, because Glammy didn't know the code to our door. So we had to leave it unlocked at night so she can walk in. But I hear somebody like opening the door as hard as they can and like storming in and like, I don't want to say like throwing, but like flutter, you know?
Yeah.
And so I thought it was somebody else. And I'm like, oh shit, stuff is going to go down. But apparently it was just Overflow and Twiggy and Xylee just putting their stuff together, I guess. What was I going to say? They were supposed to shave his head. They couldn't because the power. They wanted to do it here. I don't think that happened because when I saw Twiggy, there was one moment that I heard Xylee's voice and I'm like, oh, this isn't the person that I thought it was. Let me go outside. I met up with Twiggy and Overflow and I'm like, hey, what's happening? They gave me the rundown. I'm looking at Twiggy. Twiggy still has his luscious hair. So I'm like, they didn't do it. That's why we were also just a little bit late and a little bit frazzled because
What do you mean by that? Late to the show?
Yeah, because one of Twiggy's punishments yesterday was he had to take the whole setup from the pool and bring it back here to the main studio.
Yeah.
And there were a couple things that weren't completely plugged in or just it wasn't done to the fullest extent. So that's why we had to take a couple minutes to do that.
Yeah, so I had assumed that was happening. That's why I was just like, yeah, like you'll show up whenever you can. Like I just kind of went with it. But so so I'm assuming. Go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. I just want to address a comment from somebody named Glenn Harris. They said no one believes Nightmare was really fired because we don't know what's real or fake. Viewers are just tired of it. Now it's more the Jerry Springer / WWE audience. I understand where a lot of people are coming from when it comes to like what's real, what's fake, but it's like I'm gonna use the one that you say, Peter and the Wolf, even though I know it as a boy who cried wolf. There was only one fib, I guess, there was one fib, which was the whole Becky fib, the way that she got here, right? Like they were like, oh my God, this is a surprise, even though like the main hosts knew that she was coming. So that was the only fib, but nobody truly knew if she was coming or not, because it was a very back and forth type thing where Keemstar would argue with Becky and Becky would argue back. And he's like, I'm done with this. You met Keemstar in person and know that he's not the most patient of people. So people took that one fib and then now everything's a lie to everybody, right?
Yeah.
This morning I watch Chud Logic. I mostly watch him in order to go to sleep because I need somebody like talking in my ear, like, you know, drown out the white noise sometimes. But I look on my phone and I see Chud Logic made a video and I click on it. And the first thing in my mind is, oh shit, I made it into a Chud Logic video. Not truly because I'm behind the camera, but I'm like, oh shit, I made it.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I see that, and everybody in the comments, everybody in his chat, even him himself says that like, oh, this is scripted. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro, I wish it was scripted. I truly hope and wish that it was scripted, because that would save everybody so much trouble, so much trauma, so much everything. Because now this is going to, one, follow him for the rest of his life. This is going to follow Kelly for the rest of her life because she goes to church, she has family. People probably saw it because it's plastered everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't want to be seen as a victim, but she's going to be, because you're not the one that determines how people are going to perceive something, right?
Nope.
The relationship between Wings and Boogie and Keemstar is probably crumbling. And in general, it was just not a really good experience for anybody to experience that. So just like everybody saying that every single moment here is scripted, it does get a little bit irking, you know? Because you were here, and even at some points you were like, oh, like it can't be that bad. And then literally the second,
Yeah.
I think it was the second day that you were here, everything pops off.
Yeah. And I told you, you know, like straight up, like you wouldn't believe it unless you were there, you know? And I try and be a person, oh shit, upgrade with the 20. Keem and Mike said in the theater saying, did you know she was coming? Did you script this? I didn't know she was coming. I swear I didn't script this. The brand lost integrity. I can see where you could say that. But the only thing I'll say is when they needed to make it entertaining or like theatrical, I could understand what Keem was saying there. Because straight up, if he just turned the stream on, she was just sitting next to him, that would be like, all right, now what, you know? But if you bring her in that way, you know, kind of like introduce her as the show's going on, it creates more chaos in the audience because of the shock value to it, right? So I understand what he's saying there, and I get that. But oh, Jump Cut Drama, where did you get that skull bag? I love it. I want to get it. So in 2013, I went to the Universal House of Horrors theme park for the haunted houses and shit, and where it had The Last of Us, The Exorcist, and I forgot the other one, but yeah, that's where I got it from. Halloween Horror Nights or whatever. But what was it? Lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But anyways, what happened there with the fights and the arguments and all that shit, all that was very organic. It's just whenever you try to present it in a way or talk about it in a way, I kind of joke around with Kid Behind the Camera, and I said, oh shit, Kid Behind the Camera is on the scene. It's scripted. It's fake, you know, just to try and be funny. Preston Temple, welcome to Cash Cow. I appreciate you, sir. I'll tell you what was not scripted was those steak tacos. I'm glad everybody liked them. That meant a lot to me.
Everybody loved them, especially Grim. He loves food, and he especially enjoys your food.
I appreciate that. For real, that meant the world to me. People were saying that they ordered Chinese food when it was that disrespectful. You have to understand, there was a lot of people, for one. Two, I only made 4 pounds of ribeye. So, you know, between everyone there trying it out, no one was going to be full. No one was going to be satisfied, right, with the amount in their stomach or whatever. So I told everyone excuse me, from the beginning, it's first come, first serve. So whoever gets it will be able to try it. Because I wasn't about to damn drop, $200 on steaks to like feed all those people. You know what I mean? But I'm glad everyone liked it. It meant the world to me. Like I said, that video will be coming out here soon. One thing I will tell the audience, and Twiggy can get mad at me for this. I don't care. When I spoke to him about what was going on, he was just talking to me about just how it is. I said, bro, you have to understand something. When you put on your character or amp it up a little bit, and then you try to be serious, you're the same person. No one can tell you differently. And you've even joked around with people and said, I'm being serious, when later on it found out that you weren't being serious. He tries hard to play this person or be a person that is perceived. I don't know why I said that many words. I'm sorry. He tries to be perceived as someone who just wants chaos, wants to stir the shit up, doesn't really care, doesn't have feelings. And when he tries to change that to be a legit person with feelings, no one believes him. That's why I called him Peter and the Wolf. Because he legit is Peter and the Wolf. No one's going to believe him. But is Grim there?
Yes.
Grim.
He doesn't have his headphones on, and I don't know what he's doing, but he is here. Probably replying to all the comments on Discord, because that's what he does.
That's funny. Can you ask him to come on the mic real quick?
No, you're not. Reddit? No. Watching YouTube? Yeah. You should be watching Cafe.
Yeah, I know, right? We need that ad revenue. No. Can you ask him to get on the mic real quick?
He's on the producer mic, unless you want to see him like right next to.
No, it's just one or two questions. It's up to him. It's just one or two questions.
He's scrambling over here.
Damn it,
and
Grim.
He stubbed his toe.
Damn it, Grim. That's why I wear
hopefully
shoes.
Hopefully these mics are set up. Yeah. Well, he's wearing shoes, but the big heavy table that we use for
something
producing
else.
Stuff.
I've never seen so many people walk around that show their feet. I don't understand that.
So the fact that people will walk around with no shoes on, no socks, this is a very foreign place. The floor is dirty. I don't think they I'm the one that's been sweeping. I haven't been mopping because I don't know where that equipment is, I guess.
Did you check the pantry?
But I've only seen like a bunch of vacuums, but I can check again. But the floors are filthy and people walk without shoes, and I think that's disgusting. I think you might have to get closer.
I'll go.
The last thing I'll say about the feet thing is I bet athlete's foot is going to be rampant in that motherfucker. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, don't even talk about that, especially with the lake. The lake looks very pretty in photos, but it's just dye and God knows what. And there's like a bunch of bacteria because Zeta Ray had to go to the hospital because of infection.
Yeah, no.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
oh, real?
Yeah. She had to. Are you the audience now?
Oh, fuck.
I can't.
I've become the audience.
So
real?
Was that real?
So real quick.
Riley gets real. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Gamer the Dam. So him being serious is a lie. Now, is it? So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's hard to tell when Twiggy is trying to be on camera or have a serious conversation. That's what I'm saying. And when he tries to be the same person to do both, with what he's trying to do and what he's trying to be on camera, it's going to be hard for him, for people to take him seriously. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying he's a lie. I'm just saying when he tries to like break the fourth wall, right? It's going to be very difficult for him because no one's going to take him seriously. So, all right, Mr. Grimm, how are we, sir?
Doing good, sir. How are you?
Doing well. So people are saying that Nightmare's really not fired, all this, that, and the third. We all know the same old song and dance that we witnessed while we were down there. Not trying to ask specifics because obviously that's between co-hosts and I'm not going to out that, but how have conversations been like between you and Nightmare? Like, are y'all trying to get this resolved? Are you trying to see what he's willing to do? What's kind of going on with that?
Yeah, it's more like Keemstar wants to see more out of him, like actually give a little bit of... So I understand right now Nightmare's going through some personal things and as well as this specifically, like being fired.
Yep.
and he's very humble about the fact that he made a mistake. He realizes that, he knows that. However, what Keemstar wants to see out of him is like a bit of a like redemption, just more like a, all right, I'm going to do more, I'm going to prove myself, that type of thing. But instead, what Nightmare's doing, and him and I have spoken about it, so this is going to be no surprise for me saying this. But he's been very mopey, and these are the exact words that Keem used as well. He's just been very depressed, and I don't blame him whatsoever. But what Keemstar wants to see is just like, like that second wind, I guess you could say.
Yep.
Come out of him and have him act like he wants his job. If he wants his job, he's gonna, put everything to the side and just like, just sprint for it, right?
Definitely.
But I understand where they're both coming from. I really do. From a business perspective, and then from like a personal perspective, he's going through a lot as a person. I don't know how. Considering the fact that he's mopey, honestly, I'm surprised he hasn't, done anything worse, or at least been in a worse condition.
Got it. So jump cut drama saying, Grim, use this to pop off. So do you want to pop off, Grim, about anything?
Pop off how? Like, are you talking about pop off in anger? Because I can't be angry. I can't be angry at the situation. I think Keem is doing what he thinks is right. I can't be mad at him. He's the boss. He's the one who made the decisions. Yep. He specifically gave him exact directive and order to not do something. However, he wasn't the one who did it, which is why I understand where Nightmare's coming from. Mm-hmm. I know Nightmare didn't directly do it, but to some degree, he has taken what's called responsibility
ownership,
for this. Because ownership for it, where he did tell him the exact location. Now, obviously, things get hazy after that, where it's just like, okay, does a buck stop at where Nightmare literally told him where it is, but told him not to do it? Mm-hmm. Or is the onus on Twiggy, who literally just went out of his way to actually do exactly that when everyone knew, maybe not Billy, because Billy apparently didn't know, but I thought it was very clear where everyone knew that Roxy's deathly afraid of this doll. Like, there's a reason why why you were going over there to do like exposure therapy, right? Yeah. Everyone was fully aware of that. Now, whether all of us knew it was a bit or not, that's left to the audience to decide. Because in the beginning, I'm even a big culprit of this. I originally thought it was just memes. I thought she was just overplaying it for the camera. Mm-hmm. But no, she's apparently like actually deathly scared of like Chucky dolls. It's like she hyperventilates. She needed to take like what do they call it? Valium. That's what it was. She had to take like a Valium, and like she was actually having panic attack and could not sleep the entire night. Yeah. That's when we started realizing the severity of it. But Nightmare should have known that at the time and not done anything to even associate with it. Yeah. So that's on him. That's on him, and that's the reality of it. And I accept that. I'm still going to be in his corner. I'm still going to be there for him. I just feel bad about the whole situation. I can't defend him. I literally can't. Even he can't defend himself. He's already admitted his fault. Yep. So it's to the point where is Keem willing to give him that leniency like he's provided to other people, but he sees him as expendable, or Tess. He sees Tess as expendable. I should probably make that clear.
No, so I got you. So yeah, I know the chat's been saying free Nightmare. A lot of people are saying fire Twiggy instead.
I agree.
I know Roxy was saying on Local Milkers yesterday that she doesn't want Nightmare fired, that he walked up to her, talked to her, and all that. So I don't know, man. Hopefully your boy gets salvaged. My only thing is, Keem's the type of person, he wants to see it, he doesn't want to hear it. So I mean, if y'all do shows the rest of the time you're there, y'all put out some bangers, maybe record some content for the channel, like only the channel, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what would help him see that he's in it to win it. But it's like I told the chat, right? With Local Live doing like almost all day streams Saturday and Sunday, that kind of cucked other people's content because we can't stream at the same time. But as a business-minded person, I understand why he did it, because they still got all these expenses they need to take care of. So that's why they did it, right? So totally understand.
And live makes way more money. I mean, let's be honest.
100%
they rake in a larger audience.
Yeah, right. I mean, they were getting 7, 8, 9,000 concurrent viewers at one point. So, or almost the whole time. I mean, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very true.
So, I just want to ask you about that. But is there any final thoughts for about the halfway point of Fat Camp. Is there anything you wish was done differently? Anything you learned? Any perspectives you have now? Does it change anything?
That's a good question. I know for a fact that Beans and I will most likely do this again. I know her and I are like, that dynamic duo because she's been helping me out with everything when it comes to producing.
I saw.
Yeah. So she's nice to have whenever I'm going through stuff like this. I will continue doing what I normally do, which is busting my ass. Doing work like I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
As for Nightmare, I can't speak too much on his behalf. I know he's going to continue staying in the universe, which he should continue doing. I know he's going to try his best to either get on another show or at least get back on our original show.
Yep.
But obviously he's going to learn from his mistakes and he's going to own up to, or he has already owned up to it. It's just, working towards being in Keem's favor.
Yep.
But last but not least, I mean, throughout this entire experience, I don't think Beans and I will ever have an experience similar to this ever again. This is the first time we've ever done anything. Yeah, for real. This is the first time we've ever met people that we've grown up watching. For one, well, I have actually. Maybe not you, because I've been watching Keemstar and Boogie since like the inception.
What about those tickets to Creator Clash I bought?
That too. Well, we didn't really interact with them directly,
I guess.
But we did get to see them. You're right.
Yep.
But yeah, you won't get like a shot like this in a million years. You know what I mean? Like to actually interact with these people that you've been watching your entire life. Yeah. So I'm cherishing every moment. I'm making sure to make the best of it and work my ass off. Beans is too. I mean, look at her. She busts ass every day. Even on cafe.
I look tired. I'll fight you.
You do look tired, Beans. But what I was going to say is I told Beans this, Grim. I think y'all have earned like contract help at this point. Like next time you do, like I'd get some compensation, bro. Just saying.
Yeah, I at least want to prove my worth first. Before I start making demands, because that to me doesn't make sense. He doesn't know what I'm worth until he sees it.
Yep. But next time I'll definitely do that. But cool. All right, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let you roll. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And tell Nightmare I said what up, and hopefully all is well.
For sure. All right. Love y'all.
Later, bro.
People need to stop doing that, please.
What are they doing?
Literally every single time that somebody's on a panel and like they take off their headphones, like I know it's kind of second nature to want to take it off and like put it directly like right here on this like stand part, but like it always go past the microphone.
Oh,
and it does the
yeah.
It sucks whenever you're producing and you have to hear it every single time that somebody like hops on and hops off like with the headphones, and it because I know a lot of people complain about the audio settings, but they don't understand that it might not be perfect for you guys on YouTube, but for us, we hear them 10 times louder, 10 times more, just in general. And like whenever that happens, it really like stabs you in the brain, basically.
Yep. And
that's all.
The funny, you're gone.
I'm gone.
You're gone. Like, there's no camera. You're just a black screen. You literally just disappeared.
Something happened.
All right.
Something happened to the camera, Grim.
Yeah. But, you're back. Cool. Yeah, that was weird. Mm-hmm. But, someone in the chat said, it was Beyond the Box, Grim for Employee of the Month. 100%, bro. One of y'all deserve it. But, I don't know, man. I hope for the best for the rest of y'all. Like, it really opened up my eyes to what it was like down there. And, let me ask you this. Do you want to go home?
Do I want to go? Hell yeah, I want to go home.
You're over it?
Because when you go home... Hello. I don't know if you heard that, but he played a video for like a couple seconds in it. Okay, yeah, I want to go home because then I only have to worry about my show, our show. We have to wake up early in the morning, do what we got to do together, and then like we just go on our separate ways. We live our lives. Here you can't really do that. You have to, especially like Grim and I in our position, we have to wake up super early, do cafe, kind of be aware and attentive to all the other shows. Now that everything's set up, we don't have to be like so hands-on like we were the first couple of days, but there's always something that goes wrong, and then you hear Keemstar go Graham, and then we have to run and fix everything. But in general, like, yeah, you can't just clock out at fat camp. You can't clock out, or at least that's the experience that Grim and I have. We have to do shows like super late into the night, and then we have to go all the way to the furthest cabin and try to go to sleep, and it's been a hassle. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't want to trade this experience for anything, because we did learn a lot and we did experience a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have in life. Plus, like, we saw firsthand what would happen, because if we were still just viewers of lolcow, we would probably be in the same situation as everybody else, thinking like, what's scripted, what's real.
Yeah.
But now that we were legitimately part of the whole process, we know what's quote unquote scripted. We know what's quote unquote real.
Yeah.
There, like Grim said, like, he grew up watching a lot of these people. I didn't really grow up watching these people. I knew of Keemstar. Like, you know, Drama Alert has always been a thing that a lot of people have saw at least once in their life. The drama that he had with a couple people. But it smells like smoke. In general, yeah, it's an experience, but I still want to go home. I think a lot of people find comfort and recharge at their house. I know a lot of people say that. Yeah, I can't imagine, especially you with your wife, because you're very attached to your wife, and you know, like, it would have been nice if this was a better experience, like a vacation, like a lot of people say, because the first couple days people were trying to get to know each other. They were drinking, they were partying a little bit. And people are saying, like, that's not fat camp, this is drunk camp. Oh, like, this is a vacation for a lot of people. It's not even work. For some people it was, and for others it was purgatory. But in general, home is where the heart is, and my heart is not over here. I'll tell you that much.
So let me ask you this, right? I like to ask people this, you know what I mean? Because, you know, since the camping trip or whatever, like, you know, because that was like the first like IRL show, and I was like one of the ones on there, whatever, and I was just talking to everybody. But let me ask you this, Beans. Has being there in person changed your perception of the show at all? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, it has, only because you actually get to talk and get to know these people. And that's why we came, mostly. Networking and getting to know each person so we know how to work with them better. Especially Keemstar. So we already knew that Keemstar was not the most patient of people. We already knew that Keemstar would have this sort of personality that he portrays on camera. But now we know the different parts of Keemstar and the specific things that you can't say in order to not, I don't want to say trigger, because that's a weird word, but, you know, just set him off.
Get the wrath.
So now I think we can truly work with him better and know how to work with our shows better in order to appease Keemstar. And other people, like, for example, Glammy Lammy. I used to think, I know that we do a lot for the camera, and I never really truly hate anybody. I'll get annoyed, and I'll, you know, do my whole thing. But Glammy Lammy is truly just a lost soul, I guess. She's just trying to find her place in the LCU. She can get a little, you know, Glammy Lammy-ish, but she's not a bad person. I don't hate Glammy Lammy. I just hate the way that she associates herself with some people in the LCU. And that could be said about a lot of people here in the LCU. These people are not intrinsically bad. They're just put in bad situations, and then it plays out badly on camera.
Terp, welcome to band world.
In general, yeah, it's just, Beans, how do you feel when Boogie says, I've taken shots bigger than you?
Shits.
Okay.
Shit. He said shits.
Oh, he said shits, but the person wrote shots.
It could have been autocorrect
care.
if they were mobile or whatever.
Yeah. In general, I know I'm a tiny person. I try to gain weight, and it's been very hard here because there's very limited food, and very limited access to food. Because if you want food, you're gonna have to drive like 15 miles at least.
Yep. You know, I lost weight while I was there. I didn't even do shit.
You lost weight?
I lost weight.
Gosh darn.
That's the funny part. Like I didn't even do anything. I ate my 2 meals a day or whatever, and I mean I didn't sleep really, but that doesn't really do anything to your weight. But yeah, I legit lost I think like 4 pounds, and I didn't even do anything. So I guess just being there just makes the weight shred off of you. I don't know, Beans.
Maybe stress, maybe lack of sleep, maybe just limited portions in general. But that's why I try to eat like every couple hours. I do get hungry every couple of hours naturally.
Yeah.
But in general, I've been trying to eat or push myself to eat a little bit more because I have noticed that a lot of people have been losing weight without the intention of doing so. And I'm already a tiny person. I cannot lose weight because it's already hard enough for me to put it back on.
Yep.
The only way for me to truly gain weight I've seen is to build muscle. So I try to work out a lot. Grim and I do a lot of rock climbing.
Yep.
And we have very limited access to the gym, very limited access to
We were busy.
facilities in general. Yeah, plus we're busy, so it's like I can't just stop here and go to the gym and like do a couple of reps and then be like, okay, I'm good. Yeah. How's your fat camp so far? You were here for 4 days and probably in the most exciting 4 days.
Yeah. So I thought about this a little bit before, but putting it all together into one thing, I think there was just way too many people there. I think that personalities weren't calculated into the events that were going to happen. I think people went there with the wrong intentions, or they had wrong expectations of what it was going to be. And when you have so much on the line because you've promoted and built up this event to be something, and people go there without the intention of matching that energy and only doing it for selfish reasons, that's going to bring down the experience for everybody else. And I think that's what happened. I don't regret going. I'll say that much. I regret. Wrong word. Let me back up. I don't regret going. I'm very happy I got a chance to meet everyone. Got to see Keem, Wings, and Boogie again. Got to see Rush again. Got to meet you. Obviously, you were my number one I was looking forward to meeting. My co-host, my ride or die. It was beautiful. Grim, I didn't get a chance to bite your beard, so we'll have to save that for next time. And, meeting everyone else was definitely cool. Xylee and Billy, that was beautiful. Seeing Becky in person, it's just kind of like, how like the old school, like have like the school teachers with the stop sign. I just imagine a school teacher with a stop sign following her around. Like no one walk up to her, no one say anything to her, And
She is definitely somebody who's, as the kids say, built different.
yes,
She's built different. I didn't expect her to be kind of around or shorter than my height.
yeah, that's a short woman, bro.
She's a short woman that's pretty Becky shaped.
I will also tell the chat, I did not say 2 words to her.
Barely, yeah.
Didn't say
she
shit.
tried to talk to you at one point, and you were just like, okay.
Yep. Because I told y'all I'm standing by what I said. And I did. I didn't have shit to say to her. And I really don't. But it is what it is. The best experience though was always the happy times, right? Everyone laughing, joking, having a good time, eating food, being together. But then you have like your fish tank, real world, whatever, like experience, and it just kind of all goes downhill from there. The fact that we had 2 altercations in one day, I was telling people, like the first one with Becky and Roxy felt like it was a week ago before Wings and Keem. That the fact they were the same day was just mind-boggling to me. And some people said that Becky brought an aura to Fat Camp. I firmly believe that. Because, you know, misery loves company and negativity breeds more negativity, right? And I'm glad I'm home. I really am.
I'm glad you're home. I truly, the only thing I wanted truly from you coming here is like you to see like the chaos that I was experiencing, because I felt like there was a lot of disconnect, especially with the hosts that were like at home versus the ones that came over
Yes.
here. There was a lot of tension building between, you know, the different hosts. Like, for example, Rastov had a problem with Twiggy. Zali even had a problem with Billy, and that was the most surprising one. And then even you and I had problems. Hosts that usually, apart from Rastov and Twiggy, because they usually have a problem with each other either way.
Yeah.
But usually the hosts that are pretty chill with each other had problems with each other. And that was like the biggest disconnect of like Fat Camp. The fact that it was so chaotic and it was so, I don't even know how to put it, but in general, it was a lot. And the only thing that I wanted was you to be here, experience it. I didn't expect you to experience it like front row seat, balls to the wall, go 100% so quickly. I didn't expect that, and I didn't want that for you. But the fact that whenever that ensued, I just looked at you and I was like, "Do you believe me now?"
Yeah, you gave me the look.
chaos.
You gave me the look.
I gave you the look because I'm just like, I can't believe, one, that you came here and you experienced it. But not only that, probably in the worst experience. But it's just like, okay, now we can all understand each other a little bit better. I'm not going crazy because I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy
Yep.
because of everything that's going around. I'm glad that it kind of slowed down just a little bit. I know that there's a lot of tension when it comes to Twiggy and Nightmare and that whole situation. Nightmare is having his personal issues. Twiggy is twigging out. I don't know how to put that.
Yep.
But in general, it's been a lot less now than it was a couple days ago. I think that was the right call, getting Becky out of here, kind of laying down the law in general. A lot of different personalities in one place will always cause some issues. Just how do you deal with them? The way that we deal with them is to act like civil people, or at least that's what I do.
Yeah.
There has been something behind the scenes with me that I don't understand. I think a lot of people have that high schooler mentality where they just want to create drama for some reason. Because apparently there was one episode of Cafe, I think it was, where I was just like reading comments and reading the Discord, because that's what I usually do,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I read comments, I read Discord, I try to make opinions known. And I guess I read something from Gino, and I was just reading it because, you know, Gino is a very prolific person in the LCU. They may not be somebody who's on camera all the time, but they are a very important part of dockets, of Keemstar's organization in general. Like, I've never said anything bad about Gino. I'm thinking about somebody else who's in the Discord. But Gino, amazing person, and I was singing their praises even during that episode. I'm just like, if you're just watching Fat Camp to watch Fat Camp, it's not going to be as fun. But if you're in the Discord and you interact with people while the episodes are going, and you do like little games, because I know that Gino even set up like bingo or something. If you do these types of things, it's a lot more fun than just watching and
Get you
being
invested.
solitary.
Get you invested more, yeah.
Exactly, gets you invested. But I guess I read like a certain comment that they made because like in the beginning, Fat Camp was pretty boring. There was not a lot of things going on. It was not meeting up to the expectations that a lot of people had. And I read that comment on Discord that Gino had where it's like, hey, like this isn't what we thought it would be. And I just read it to read it. I didn't mean anything negative by it, but I guess one of the other hosts, don't know who it is and don't care, frankly. One of the other hosts took that and they're like, hey, Beans was trying to call you out and try to put you in a bad light with Keemstar. And I'm like, it's not that deep, bro. I'm reading stuff because I want opinions to be known. Keemstar was probably right there. And I'm like, hey, I'm letting you know that a lot of people do not think that this is the way that it's supposed to be. And point blank period, that's all I meant by it.
So,
But like I said, there's a lot of people with the high schooler mentality, and I just can't deal with that. I can't deal with
I
that.
can't either, bro. So, Brother That Survived said something. I asked him what he meant. Right? I'm just going to read that real quick. So, he initially said, no offense to Ken, but I found the grandstanding to be off-putting. I totally understand why he feels the way he does, but I don't support making implications by proclaiming so loudly your suspicion. And then he said, Ken, like I said, I understand your feelings and recognize their validity. I just think you can, at the same time, keep the implications of what you're concerned about, what she would do to you in private. Then he said, by private, I mean off the show. Obviously, you're entitled to handling your business however you choose to when the audience is not involved. So I get what you're saying, bro. Totally. This is what I'm saying. I never said she would, like, do anything. Oh, God, don't read my comments. I mean, the thing is, bro, it's members only. You left some long ones. People are going to read them. I just want to make sure we're on the same page, right? So I don't think she would do anything to me. I just don't want people to say something, even just a rumor to talk shit. That's why I felt the way I did. And it cannot be argued that when she got there, the fucking drama that ensued and the shit that happened because of her. If you look at what caused everything, it's all based on her. And that's my true feeling with it. And I can defend that if I ever need to defend that. But I get what you're saying. I respect your opinion. Thank you for telling it to me, dude. I appreciate that. And I never want to grandstand, right? I mean, I'm bigger than every person there, bro. I'm grandstand whenever I want to, but I'm kidding. But I just feel that it was just best if she just stayed away. I truly felt like if she never came, it would have been better for everybody. That's just me. And when I say I didn't speak a word to her, I didn't want to. I had nothing to say to her. What do her and I have to talk about? There's nothing me and her have to discuss, have to talk about, whatever. You know, and people can feel however they want to feel about her. People can say whatever they want to say about her, but I feel if I'm going to say what I said on camera and I'm going to make my opinions known what I said, but then I turn around and I'm friendly to her and then I'm laughing and joking with her, it's kind of hypocritical. It's kind of hypocritical. And I'm a man that I will cut my nose to spite my face based on how I feel about something. I am that person. I will literally, if I say something, and if I want to do something that goes against shit that I've said, I will not do it. I will not do it because of what I've said on camera and how I feel about it. Because let's just say, for example, I said everything I said. Everything I said. And then people were saying, oh, yeah, Ken and Becky were friendly. Oh, yeah, Ken and Becky, they did a shot together. Oh, yeah, Ken cooked and made Becky a plate and gave it to her, bro. How would I look? How would I look? Right? I said on here, I don't want to be in a room alone with her. I have nothing to say to her. She brings no value to my life. She brings no value to me. I've said she gave me good advice to be better on the show. I gave her credit there. I've said that. But I truly have nothing to say to her. So I didn't speak to her because I had nothing to say. It is what it is. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you here. Thank you for watching. All 645 of you. You're fucking beautiful. And it is what it is.
A Greek girl is in the chat saying 100, 100, 100 beans, right? She always says, well, whoever in chat says whatever, but I don't know. LOL, that's her usual line.
Hey.
I always talk about, I feel like it's very important, especially for the smaller channels, to be more interactive with their chats. I feel like once channels get a little bit bigger, they really lose their roots, or they really lose their interaction, because then it's about bigger donos or having their chat on members only. And I feel like Cafe, so far, we understand that we're a smaller channel. We understand that we need to be more interactive, but it's just something that we personally like to do as well. So, for example, I like reading chat. I like reading Discord. I like bringing up opinions or facts or anything else that people put in these areas.
Yeah.
But also, we like to have a very open chat. So if you have opinions and things of that nature, we usually don't ban people or time people out. I've been timing some people out during this episode, but only because they seem to be promoting violence, and I can't deal with that.
Yeah, we
are
can't.
not going to promote.
We
Yeah, we
can't.
are not going to promote violence in any sort of aspect in the cafe.
So,
You know,
real quick, sorry. Grit Girl was saying she was talking about Psycho Mom. She didn't mean you.
Oh.
But speaking of Psycho Mom, I saw on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, that she put out a post that said, "Yes, I'm pregnant. I need to do a paternity test to see if it's Keem or Mike's. I don't fucking know." Or
Wait, what?
yeah, she put it on X. I think she's just being funny, but obviously that's not true, right? I think she was just trying to be funny for the show or whatever. But people were saying Psycho Mom got fired or she's not on the show anymore. What happened with that? Is that like a thing?
So that is a thing. Grim and I were helping out with. Oh, Keemstar's awake. Good morning, Keemstar. We were helping out with milkers. It seems like they feel like Psycho Mom is not as much as a member as the other ladies.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Kristen in the comments or in the chat said her son did a live last night about her being fired.
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't know if that was true or not. All right, continue. I apologize.
So, for example, the best way to really talk about this is what happened between Roxy and Becky. Roxy and Becky both got into an altercation. If it was anybody else, they would probably make both of them leave, just because it's like a safety issue, right? Not only make both of them leave, but both of them should have been. This is not my opinion. This is just like in general. This is what happens in like corporate places. Both of them would have been fired. Keemstar said to himself that Roxy is a very valuable person in Milkers. Like, she knows how to really react to things, and she really knows how to talk. She's a really good talker, you know? Things like that. So now I feel like Fat Camp has shown Keemstar and Mike who can do their job in the way that they would want it to be done. So Roxy right now, because of Fat Camp and because of her being on the show in general, they can see her entertainment value. That's the same thing that they based Nightmare off of. Entertainment value and also the value of Test itself.
Yeah.
So one of the things that he said about Nightmare is that remember when Keemstar was on our show, and I even talked about Nightmare, singing his praises, saying like, hey, Nightmare should be on a show. And he said, I don't like Nightmare. Nightmare is boring to me, even though a lot of people liked Nightmare at the time. Keemstar already did not like Nightmare. He put Nightmare on a show. Nightmare is now like, he showed himself as an entertainer. He showed himself even more as an entertainer being with Grimm, because they pair really well and they know how to bounce off of each other. But even though he has a lot of entertainment value, he's also basing it off of the value of Test. And he thinks that, oh, you shouldn't be going against my will if you're a smaller channel. You don't have anything to stand off of.
Yeah.
Milkers has way more to stand off of. Roxy has the entertainment value. You can't touch Roxy. I think that's the same thing that he values things when it comes to Queens. Becky has a lot of entertainment value to a lot of people. Queens makes a lot of freaking money.
Yep.
You can't touch Becky. You can't touch Queens. However, these smaller shows, anything is up for gain. So even though Milkers is kind of riding that line of like they're doing a lot better, they're still considered one of the shows that could be in danger. Psycho Mom, people want to see more from her. And in general, if she shows what she can do, especially because she's a woman, because I think that sometimes Keemstar is a little bit soft when it comes to women. But if she can show what she can do, it can be redeemable, maybe, depending.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
it depends on what day that on what side of the bed he wakes up on.
So Luna Reclipse or a lunar eclipse, whatever. It said Kim is running on 7 hours of sleep max, bro. If they had 7 hours of sleep, everything would be much better. It's not even 7 hours of sleep. Like
Yeah.
the most sleep I got was 7 hours, and that's because I OD'd on my sleep medication and melatonin. Like that's the only reason why I even got 7 hours of sleep. Like I think I was getting like 4 hours, 4 hours a night. Yeah, it's even taking the equivalent to a horse tranquilizer. And there's other stuff going with that, but that's beside the point. So since we got 648 people here, thank you for all of you for checking us out. So you sampled the coffee.
Yes, I did.
What'd you think about it? Like truthfully, give us like an in-depth, you know what I mean?
Well, you know that I wish that you were here because obviously you're more experimental, I guess, when it comes to coffee. I usually just drink one type of coffee.
Cafe
and I'm pretty
Bustelo.
much- Cafe Bustelo, exactly. I only drink one type of coffee, but when I say that I wasn't mad about this coffee, like it smells so good. Like before you even put like sugar or cream or anything in it, it smells good because of the flavor that we picked out.
Yeah.
So the flavor that we picked out, it's really good smelling. Like I said, even Grim, he doesn't drink coffee, but like he smelled my cup whenever I poured it, and he was like, "What is that? That smells delicious. Like I want to drink it." I'm like, "This is coffee," and he's like, "Oh shit, never mind."
Yep.
But in general, it smells really, really good. Once you brew this, it's going to go around your entire house, and you probably want the smell to stay there forever.
Yep.
The taste, I really like the taste. I don't drink coffee black in general. So you would have to try yourself in order
That's
to
fine.
get that
Yep.
flavor profile of just not the pool coffee, the cafe,
Yeah.
the local cafe coffee.
Yep.
I still have to try the pool coffee though. We need to try it together.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a really good coffee. Keemstar said, I don't believe this, but Keemstar said that he, got a cup yesterday, and he said that he was wired because of this coffee.
Really?
I think it's still pretty weak, yeah, but I think it's just the stress in general, just stress
Could
and
be.
having coffee at night. Just really, been here for a long time.
Yep. Alex, I don't know if you're not, but I left the Tim Hortons beans there and the coffee grinders there and all that, so y'all can obviously make coffee or whatever. I believe I left the Cafe Bustelo there for you as well, so that way you can do what you need to do. But no, that's cool though. I do wish I was there to try the coffee. I am excited about it, and hopefully you can mail me one of the bags of it so I can give it a try. Just for the chat to know, I'd left the signed uncut sheets for the giveaway. I left those, unfortunately, but Miss Beans is going to help me out. And
You're gonna get like a goodie box, I guess, because not only do you have the uncut sheets, you'll probably get the coffee. You'll get also something from Holy Moly because he did send the little. Is it still up there? Yeah, the little. You probably can't see it because we're zoomed in.
Yeah,
But
no.
the little cow, like 3D printed stuff. He said that that's going to be in soon. He thought he paid for like 2-day shipping.
Damn.
But still, I think with the storms and
Yeah.
all that jazz,
yeah, that shit was rough
couldn't
last
get here in
night.
time.
That shit was rough. Or what was it? Sunday morning when I was driving. Yeah, because like I said, I left at like 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, and that was rough. That was rough. But I drove to Buc-ee's immediately because I wanted to get my wife some stuff. I got her like the plushie or the Squishmallow, whatever it was, the beaver. And then I don't know if you saw they had like a cup, like a heart cup. And you can write messages on it, like a big like water cup or whatever. So I got her that as well.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
We still have to go back eventually, because you saw Grim with his on all the time, but the little onesie.
Yeah.
So I got a onesie, and I'm a pretty small person, so they didn't have any adult smalls, so I got a youth medium. It fits me perfectly. The only thing that I would complain about is the hood. So the hood is very, very small.
Yeah.
And I want to exchange it for an adult small, which I don't know if they're even going
They
to
had
get.
some. They had some when I was there because
They had some?
I was looking to buy her one because she thought the idea was super cute, and I went to look. The biggest they had was like a medium.
Yeah.
But they had
So-
they had some smalls there when I was there. Also, I just want to put this out there.
Mhm.
All right, this is gonna be a hot take. I don't care. The brisket sandwich ain't that good. It ain't that good.
Do you have any words, Grim?
I
I
can't.
love you, Ken.
I love you too, bro.
I love you, Ken.
All right,
I love you. But
steak.
there's just things we're just gonna disagree with.
You know what? All right, I'll give it to you. Maybe it was the sauce.
The sauce.
You don't like the sauce?
Fuck no.
That's like the best part.
It's also Texas barbecue. You know, I'm not that big into Texas barbecue.
Is there different types of barbecue?
There
Usually
is.
when you
Oh,
hear
definitely. Oh, absolutely.
There
oh my
is.
God, North Carolina. Hold on, let me tell you something about North Carolina. In literally every city or
I should have
town.
not said anything.
No. I
Now
was
he's
raised
gonna
by this
rage.
shit. No, I was raised of this shit. Okay. In every literal city and town of North Carolina, they have an individual pig statue for every single one of them to represent the type of barbecue that they do.
Yep.
And for every city, it actually represents entirely like a whole new dish. Like some of them add more mustard, some of them add more honey, some of them add more, I don't know, sugar, whatever the fuck, right? And they all have different textures. Like Tennessee barbecue is gonna be different than like Kentucky barbecue, or in Kentucky barbecue is gonna be different than North Carolina, and then North Carolina is gonna be different than like Florida, right, or Texas even. They're all different in their own way. Believe it or not, like I'm pretty sure with Texans it's more mustard. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Mustard.
it is.
Yeah, that's the
And
thing
then
that they love to do.
Yep, and then also Kansas City barbecue is also mustard based, I believe, and then more like of the South is tomato based barbecue sauce. Carolina barbecue sauce is vinegar based, so it's
you go.
very thin and it's vinegar with like peppers and shit in it. That's Carolina
So-
barbecue sauce.
What's your favorite type of barbecue?
Me,
Mm.
Ken's,
Ken.
Kid, shut the fuck up.
Ken's. Y'all don't,
Oh.
y'all don't understand. All right, the reason why I cook how I cook and what I cook is because I'm a very picky eater. So I make my own, and I've never made my own barbecue sauce. I will thoroughly admit that. But if I had to pick, it'd be tomato-based barbecue sauce.
Okay. I like how my brain was running off of Windows for a second. And I'm like, yeah, your opinion. And you're like, Ken. And I'm like, yeah, your opinion. And then he's like, no, Ken's barbecue. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like
I get what you're saying.
I'll smoke like ribs. I'll do like a pork butt, things like that. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I'll say all this too. When I did my cooking video for steak tacos, the entire time I was just yelling at the pans. Like, these are not my pans. I don't know these pans. You know what I mean? But
You were yelling at the pans, you were yelling at the spices, you were yelling at
Yeah.
the fire because there's only a gas stove here. We learned a lot about the way that you cook and your preferences. So you said that you like a gas stove a little bit better because you feel like you can get more control of the
Yes.
heat. You said that there's variations and there's some hot spots, there's some cold spots. Like you never truly know how comfortable a chef can get with their tools or their equipment. And I feel like that's something that we experienced here also at Fat Camp. You don't realize how do you say it, Graham? Like specialized people can get with their craft.
meticulous.
There you go. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So
Took
for
work on that.
example, whenever Keemstar, he hasn't been doing it a lot because obviously his hands are tied. But whenever he goes to do Drama Alert, he'll just pull out his phone and he's like, "What's up, Drama Alert Nation?" Blah 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 blah, and he'll do his whole Drama Alert stuff in like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, just boom boom boom. I'm done. That's my whatever amount of money he makes for that day, week, month, I don't know.
Yeah.
But in general, people get so comfortable with the way they do things that sometimes whenever they're out of their element, it can mess them up just a little bit. Like I can't imagine how quickly and how smoothly he does Drum Alert whenever he's in his own house and whenever he has his own equipment. Because him doing it in 5 minutes with like this stuff and he's 9 in setup, I was still amazed.
Yep.
So I can't imagine what it's like you cooking at your house with your pots, with your pans, with your stove.
Well, the
It's
other
probably 10 times better.
well, the other difference too is, Keem has been doing this for what, 15 years, say 15, 16 years now. So it's second nature to him at the end of the day, So I don't know. I think it'll be good with him. The one thing I will say is, and I've said this before, once Fat Camp is said and done, I'm curious at the changes that are going to happen. I think there's been a lot of realizations. I think, with all the OGs there in one place, like, Keem, Boogie, Mike, Xylee, and Billy, the big three shows.
Big three.
I think they're going to have some conversations about the future of the LCU. I think they're going to, and Tina, I'm sorry, I apologize, Miss Tina. I think they're going to figure out what they want to do and what they should do moving forward. And I think they also wanted smaller channels there so they can see the work ethic. They can see what they're willing to do. They can see that I'm willing to go the extra mile to try to make my show successful. Because I talked to Glammy about this. That's one thing I don't respect about nerds. Now,
What do you mean?
you
I
can
haven't been able to watch Nerds recently, but I've heard a lot about
So-
what's been happening on Nerds.
So when I was on the plane, Nerds was on. So obviously I was just trying to stay awake, right? Because my big ass in like a fucking economy seat was not the ticket. So I was just trying to block my mind out, and I was watching Nerds. And I think they want the best for the channel. I'm not saying they don't, but the problem is they did not do one show this weekend. Not one. And
That's
they
strange because you would think that the people who are still at home would still want to do a show.
that's the point I'm trying to get to. Like you
Okay.
have Glammy there, right? You have her soon to be husband there. They're in it to win it. They're mixing, they're talking. And if you're a smaller channel, you want to get all the exposure you can from this. You want to get all the views, all the ad revenue, whatever you want to call it. You want to get everything you can that your channel is able to do while on this thing. And Nerds didn't do shit. And the reason I was given, it's not my reason to tell, so I'm not going to say it because I'm not that type of person, because I don't want to betray trust. But all I'm saying is y'all fucked up. Y'all truly, truly fucked up. And
Yikes.
I hope y'all do more while you have the opportunity at Fat Camp. You have someone on the ground, you have someone that can talk to people. You can bring other hosts on from other shows. Because, real quick, I'll spill the beans real quick, right? Not you, sorry. Every time I make a Beans reference, Beans, you're there. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Right? But I'm going to spill the beans a little bit. So, this is what I was going to do with Roxy. I was going to have the Chucky doll. I was going to sit it in a chair. It was either going to be in the theater room. It was going to be outside. I don't know. And I was going to be next to it. And I was going to say, Roxy knows it's right here. She's been made aware. And whenever she's ready to come out, she'll come out. And Tina was going to be there. Savage was going to be there. Mike was going to be there. He was going to help me film. I was going to see if Keem could come on and do a little bit for it. Just to see or whatever. And I was going to have her face her fears. That's what I was going to do. And what I told her was, what I want you to do is when you talk to the doll, tell the doll everything it's ever done to you. I want you to take control back of what that doll has done to you and everything that you're afraid of it for, the nightmares it gives you. I want you to tell it. Tell that. And I was going to be right there with her. And I told her, if you want me to put my hand and hold this thing, I'll do it for you. And I asked Tina, I said, can Roxy please use your bat? Because I wanted Roxy to have the symbolism of what that bat means, right? What the bat has been through, how long it's been, the chaos that Tina's done with the bat. I wanted her to channel that and beat the shit out of the doll with that bat and just cuss it the fuck out. And at the very end, what I wanted her to do, if she was able, was pick that doll up, look at it, and say, I'm not afraid of you anymore. And she was going to do it, right? That's what I wanted her to do. Sorry, Keem, I apologize. But that was kind of what it was going to be. But going back to what I was saying before, I just think the smaller channels really needed to take advantage of this experience and do more and try to grow their channel and kind of do it or whatever and do the best that they could. So, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm drinking that Lol Cow Cafe sample, and bro, it's so good.
Yeah, Beans was telling me about it.
Is my mic too loud? Or maybe my headphones are too loud.
The headphones are a little loud in general.
I can hear Bean's heartbeat right now.
Yeah, I think it's the headphones. You sound fine to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
so how you feeling, sir? Oh, after the big weekend of shows and everything.
I feel good. I think we're burnt out.
Yeah.
Like today we're doing a show. I don't know what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like doing shows every single day in this environment is insane. It's already been insane back home, you know, where you just call in and doing it every day.
Yep.
But doing it this style every day, wild. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So, well, we all know that Overflow is there. Is he going to be trying to come on the show and do some stuff? I know I was talking to him about it a little bit while I was there.
He is now. Thanks for the idea, Ken.
Oh, cool. Well, there you go. Yeah, I was just, yeah. But, so
Today I woke up early. I got the Lol Cow Cafe coffee. And me and Brantley just went around the property looking for the prime location for Glammy's wedding, which is tomorrow. We found that. So we know where the wedding's going to be at. I believe we know where the reception's at. Just going to be a little challenging from switching from wedding to reception.
Yeah, I got you. So, I don't know if I can ask you this right now, but I was kind of wanting your opinion if you're willing to give it. I don't know if you want to wait till after the fact. Since I'd say you're about 60% of the way done. Is there anything that you wished you could have changed before the start? If you could go back to talk to Keem from before you got there.
Oh yeah. One, I wouldn't have when we banned Wings from coming, I wouldn't have unbanned him from coming. That's one for sure.
Yep.
Becky, that wasn't, maybe it was worth it, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Probably wouldn't have had her on. God, there's like a million things I would change, you know.
I got you.
I would have had my Starlink re-registered or whatever, or got a different Starlink.
Yep.
There's just so much stuff that we would have done different. It's hard to plan for you know, something like this when you're not on location, you know.
Yep.
We were on location for a couple days, saw all the challenges, and then had even more days to get all the supplies to fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great, but we're making do with what we have, and I think we've done absolutely great.
Yeah, you definitely.
That is always 2020.
Yeah, you definitely have done good, and I think the true fan reception has been great. Obviously, you'll have your negative influences or whatever, negative people talking about it, but you got to ignore that, like you always said. And I think that it is a success based on engagement, fan support, and all that. I think it is a success, but like I said, you still got about 40% of the way to go, man. I do wish you the best of luck. The one critique I had was, you know, outside of the big three channels, the smaller channels really needed to take this opportunity to make content, and they really needed to grab the bull by the horns and do what they could, since All Lies was on Fat Camp, utilize that momentum. So, since we got a little bit more time left and we're in for Fat Camp or whatever, what are your thoughts on what the smaller channels have done? Not, you don't have to call out any if you don't want to, but as far as the smaller channel momentum, what they're doing, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you wish there was more? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
If I'm being totally honest, I haven't been paying attention to what the smaller channels have been doing.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I've been just focused on, the main three, and Milkers and probably Cafe. The other channels, they're on so late. Like I'm in bed. You know what I mean? I don't even know what's going on
No, that's fair.
on Aussie or Test or any of that.
That's fair.
And like Madhouse, they have their new co-host, which I set up right before we got here. I haven't been able to watch one single episode just because I'm just so busy. Nerds, haven't been able to see what the hell's going on over there. Have no idea. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm just busy doing other stuff. So I don't really know.
That's fair. Okay, I was just curious. A lot of the fans, I've seen are saying free Nightmare, and there's a lot of people that kind of want that to kind of go back. I know Roxy's made her own comments. I don't know the discussion behind the scenes because obviously I wasn't there for it. But do you think there is a path of redemption back for Nightmare before y'all leave if he's willing to put the best foot forward and do what he needs to do?
Before we leave, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No, I feel highly disrespected by him.
Okay. That's fair.
I look, man. I said it before on Rewind. I'll say it again. The first night he scared Roxy, I saw it in real life. Roxy was in fetal position on her bed, screaming, crying, begging me for help.
Yeah.
And I promised her that I would help her and that they would stop scaring her with the doll. So then I went out and yelled at Nightmare. I said, "Don't do that. You don't understand. She could have a heart attack," or whatever I said.
Yep.
And then the very next night they did it again. So it's like, I just no. And like it could be the entire chat. I'm a firm believer in telling chat to go fuck themselves. I don't give a fuck.
Definitely. No.
It's like I get it, right? Everyone has different opinions. It's like Wings, right? You think we wanted to do that? 50% of the audience is like, bring Wings back, but it's like, dude, like actions have consequences. It's like I don't, I have to navigate this the best way I know how.
Yep.
And that was ridiculous. The thing with Roxy is like you've seen it firsthand, right? It's like a safety issue.
Oh yeah.
It's like extreme torturing, extreme bullying, like.
That's what I was telling
the
them,
best
right?
The best way I can describe it, if to the audience, so they would probably understand it, is, I think a lot of people are scared of Chucky or scared of snakes or spiders or whatever, and if they encounter that, they're scared and they're a little freaked out for like 15 minutes and then they're over it, right? The fear is gone.
Mm-hmm.
If you chase her with a doll or anything like that, she is in a state for like 12 hours. Do you know what I mean? That she can't get out of. It is not the same,
Yep. I was explaining to the chat, like, being there and seeing it firsthand. Like, every time I showed up, she would run up to me and ask me or whatever. And the times where I brought it, I told her, yep, it's in the trunk of the car. That's where it is. And I swore on my marriage she would know what was happening, And, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do it, and it sucks. But, she knew what my intention was. She knew what the plan was, and I told her the whole way, right? And I told I told the audience, I just threw the bitch away. I threw it in the trash can, like when I was getting gas for the rental car, because the omen that it brought and just what it did to Roxy and just kind of the environment or the vibe, it's just not worth it. It's just not. So that's why I just threw it away just to get rid of it. But I really hope the best for Roxy. And I wish people would really, truly understand just how bad it is for her. But it is what it is. Miss Beans, you've been quiet. I apologize. I've been taking the show up. You got anything to say, ma'am? I apologize.
You're fine. You're interviewing Mr. Keemstar, and that's valid because there are a lot of questions and answers that need to be brought into the light. So we heard it here that he says there's nothing that can be done during Fat Camp in order to, I guess, get some redemption. Probably not the word that I should use right now. But
you want to hear another one? The domestic violence charity that we were like thinking about like helping out or whatever because of what happened with Wings. The name of it was Wings of Hope.
Oh Jesus!
I swear to God.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
let's not do
Look
that.
it up.
That's
We're
do
not
that.
joking.
No, I believe you. I believe you. Let's not do that.
I mean, it would be on brand. Like, if you've experienced any form of domestic violence, please donate to Wings of Hope.
Facts. So in
would.
general, how that was delayed as fuck.
Yeah.
So sorry, because like the other thing is that like you got a cup of the coffee and that shit smells not bad, good. Like that's been wafting, especially because the door's open.
Yeah.
That's been wafting over here, and it just smells so good. I feel like it's like a candle or an air freshener, but not like you. The flavor is complex. How do you? Like, you talked about it last night. You said like this is good. I feel wired.
Oh, well, Wonder Woman made the first pot that I ever had, and she made it hella strong. So I was like on the verge of a panic attack. But this morning, she made it a little bit weaker, and it's like, this is like perfect. This is mint. And everyone around here has been like trying it. Have you had a chance to try it?
No, I think I got a little bit of the coffee that Roxy made this morning, but I am going to top off with that because it smells so good.
I'm kind of jealous. I'm not
Hey,
able
I mean,
to try it.
It's excellent. It truly is excellent. Hopefully we can get it to market as soon as possible.
Yep.
He was asking if it's possible for us to send, because I know you got like a couple bags of the sample. Is it possible to send him a bag for him to try?
Yeah, there's 2 bags. One's for you and one's for him.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are you gonna allow us to say what the flavor is we chose to release?
$50 donation. We leak it right now.
Hey, you heard it here, guys. But I think it was the perfect flavor, right? That's all I'm saying. To start it off, I think it was the perfect one.
Well, now I think it's the perfect flavor because just how good it smells. I can't imagine now that we picked that flavor and I smell that flavor, I can't imagine any other flavor for cafe.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just smells so good.
And what I will say, people were saying they wanted to try and check. Yeah, so it's very reasonably priced. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good amount. The distributor is amazing, and what they're saying about the coffee is going to be awesome. So I can't wait to try it either. But yeah, I hope the rest of Fat Camp goes well. I hope it is as successful as they want it to be. And I hope that, with Overflow being there, brings a new vibe to it, because he's not intense, but he's very, fitness minded. Because I was talking to him a little bit about what he does, his regiment and his workouts. He's very fitness minded. So I think it'd be good to get those fat asses out there and doing some Overflow workouts. I think that'll be beautiful.
Yeah, he's like a black belt in jiu-jitsu or whatever. Yeah. Very fitness minded, but I was just roasting the ever-living shit out of him yesterday in the kitchen because his legs are so skinny.
Yeah.
And he's been skipping leg day for a while because, basically he had an injury.
Oh, yeah, he did mention that to me whenever you guys were doing the stream, the all-night stream. I got a chance to talk to him. I don't know anything about Overflow. Heard a lot of good things, and we were just chatting it up in the kitchen, and for some reason, he's like, "Oh, what's your name?" And I'm like, "I'm Beans," and he's like, "Oh, I heard a lot about you," so now I'm anxious.
There it is.
But he's a very cool person, as so far as I see.
Yeah, good guy, little legs.
And I definitely see the similarities of the quote unquote Timu Keemstar, how y'all are confused or whatever. I can definitely see it.
Yeah, me and Over have been friends for years. He's the nice version of Keemstar.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I like him. Yeah, because we were just talking, whatever. He's a cool guy, easy to talk to. I did ask him a question. I was like, so let me ask you something. Be real with me. He was like, what's up? I'm like, how are the Paul brothers off camera? I'm like, I was just like, because he knows them. He's talked about it. And how the image of them are and the persona that it is, right? And I was like, how are they? He's like, they're very down to earth people. He was like,
the number one thing about Overflow, and you can just see this by looking at his Instagram or whatever, is he is a social butterfly. So he will be everywhere at all times. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if there's an event going on, he's there. So he just travels the world truly, and is collaborating with multiple people and hanging out with different people all the time. It's fucking insane. So he literally knows everyone. And I'm really mad at him because he was supposed to be here week 1 of Fat Camp, and he wasn't
Damn.
because of some trick ass hoe.
Becky, I'm just kidding.
And it's supposed to be bros before hoes, and
Always.
it's just like my feelings are hurt, but I don't really know how to express it without resorting to violence. And he's a black belt, so it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just drop it.
I think it's really cool how he wears the Happy Punch like medallion around.
Yeah. That thing is sick in
Thought that was-
person, dude. That was the first time I've ever seen one in person. That thing is sick.
Yeah, that means the world to him. He wears that every day of his life. But yeah, he's also one of my fighters, and he handles like brand deals and kind of like the social aspect of Happy Punch. He's like basically the Happy Punch mascot, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So he's been representing Happy Punch throughout the world, really.
Well, something that a lot of people need to keep in mind, you can really tell something about a company whenever you have somebody that wears merch like that. If you wear the merch all the time, if you talk about it all the time, you can tell that that person really likes working for this company. Not only that, but it's probably a good company in general. Like they really trust and put their all into whatever you do. That's what I
Facts.
got. That's the energy. He gives like labradoodle sort of energy, and
Yeah,
I
I can
like
see
that.
that. I can see that. Yeah, he's a very positive person.
That's so fucking true.
It is. That's a great way to
He
put
was
it.
like that. Well, because I saw him like at 3 a.m. because there was like a lot of noise going on in the cabin. Xylee was on VC at 3 a.m. She was kind of loud. Like I could hear her from our room. And I was like, hey, are you on VC? Because I could hear like people that I know their voice from the Discord. And she's like, yeah, am I being loud? And I'm like, no, you're fine. She was a little loud. But I met up with him at 3 a.m. and he has the same energy. And I'm like, dude, like, I'll have what you're having. Did you have some of the Local Cafe coffee? Because he was still the same energy from morning to 3 a.m.
Dude, the first time I met Overflow, he's like, oh my God, Keemstar, I love you. I love you so much. And he's like fanboying to me. This is like a decade ago when I met him. And I'm like, oh my God, I fucking hate this dick sucking, ass kissing fucking dude. This guy's so annoying.
Yeah.
Then we went into a gas station, and he was treating the lady behind the counter the same exact way. And then like people walking into the store treating them the same way he was treating me. And I was like, oh, this is just who he is.
Yep.
And we've been good friends ever since.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Big dog energy.
One thing Keem hates is an ass kiss. I'll tell you all that right now. He can't stand that
Yeah. But that's just kind of who he is.
shit. Yeah.
He's just super nice to everyone.
Yep. It's beautiful. But
He told me a story last night that he was telling his parents about this new thing that I'm building, the Local Live universe, and now his parents have been watching us nightly for like a month. They're like addicted to the shows.
oh yeah. My mom actually said she got sucked into the LCU and she's been trying to get out, and it's hard, because it's always like what happens next, so
It's like the type of people that we have here could be interesting to someone that's like, I don't know, 18, 20. Could also be interested to someone who's 60. It's
Yeah.
like
wide range.
It appeals to a wide range of viewers.
Yeah, like for example, the thing about Local Cafe is that it panders to a lot of people that are just like, hey, I want something chill. But also there's like, for some reason, moms really like us. Like
Yeah.
Billy's mom loves us. Ken's mom loves us for some reason. Like we're a very mom-oriented show.
Yeah, my mom can't watch.
Why?
She's dead.
Sorry.
Well,
I
that
shouldn't
got
laugh at
morbid. Sorry about that.
I think that we're a killer show.
Oh yeah, we definitely give a different vibe than the rest of the LCU. Now it's kind of the whole point, kind of like wake up with the LCU, still get the news, still understand what happens, but not get the yelling and screaming. And a lot of people like that. And
Yeah.
just trying to build something in like the quote unquote coffee cult, right? Like it's crazy. It really is crazy. And I appreciate.
Speaking about that, what was the most hostile moment on Cafe where there was yelling and screaming?
Probably me and Beans yelling, or Beans getting mad at me.
Oh yeah.
Really? Thought it would be like a dog water moment. I'm not sure.
Well,
Probably that though.
It's on prime time when they came on. Are you talking about that episode?
It was more energetic, but if you're saying like hostile, then maybe it would be the crash out.
Yeah.
If dog water, if I have to see her, like probably that would be the new moment, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over the whole dog water thing now. I'm just like, okay, whatever. There's just so much happening that I'm just like disassociating, just numb to the whole idea of like drama. I'm just like, can we move on now?
I kind of forgot Zayzuda existed.
Have you been watching any
Damn.
of the other shows?
No.
No.
Yeah, he said earlier he didn't. That's so. I was talking to Glammy or whatever, and that's one thing she was just talking to me about, just like wanted her show to grow and all that, and like other people were saying that decisions are made and not everyone's really on board, and I don't know as far as their show, but a lot of people still hate on Zay, and I get it, but when I didn't see Nerds going live one time this weekend, I was just like, wow, that's not a good look, but that's just my personal opinion.
Glamly's been put in a weird position because her show goes on at 2, right? So this show always goes off without a hitch, but then after the show's done, then we plan for what the day is going to be.
Definitely.
By the time we're done setting up, it's normally like in the middle of Nerds, like we're preparing for Milkers. So Glamly's been calling in, off her phone into her show and stuff. Like she's really kind of got the short end of the stick. So I'm excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow's the Glammy wedding, where it will be all about her special day.
Is that going to be in the Locale Live slot or in the Nerd slot?
We're gonna put that in Locale Live spot.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Glammy. It's going to be beautiful. And you are still gonna ordaining the wedding, am I correct, or officiating the wedding?
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. The funny part is seeing like what you come up with as far as like what to say. I think it's gonna be funny as shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Thank God for Chat GDP.
So that's tomorrow. You're gonna use ChatGPT for the wedding?
Well, but I don't know what I'm saying. Not yet, but I'll know before I go to bed, I think.
Wait, so let's say you get it from ChatGPT, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's going to be written down for you to read, right?
Yeah.
Do you see the issue?
No, because I'll read it a few times and then like I'm not going to read it when I'm standing up there. I'm going to freeball it.
All right, just want to make sure.
It's beautiful.
What are you trying to say, Grim?
He's dyslexic. He's going to stumble a lot.
It's not as
but I'll just
Star.
all I need to do is read it a few times and like understand the gist of what I'm saying, and it'll just
Oh, okay, I understand.
If I can see the framework, then I'm good. Then I can build the thing.
Beans, you see that, Dono?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Go
mention
ahead.
it. I didn't know if you wanted
No,
to take
go
it
ahead,
over
go
or
ahead.
me. So Jones SN with the $5. Glammy just milked this opportunity. That's it. That's all. What do you mean?
Well, you know who didn't milk this opportunity? Nightmare. So,
Grim is losing his mind in the background.
They'll figure it out.
Speaking of milked, we were talking about milkers a little bit earlier. What's your opinion on that? A lot of people are confused on what's happening with milkers.
look, Milkers is at a good spot. I feel like now it is a show. And now that it's an established show, it could be a full-time job for anyone that's on there. But the cast had to be slimmed down to 2 people, right? Because of the splits, right? With 3 people, it just gets a little too insane. And it's making decent money now. So, it had to be 2 people. So this could be their full-time job. And, when we looked at that cast, we wanted Savage, we wanted Roxy. And Psycho Mom was the only one we could afford to let go. So that's how it landed,
So now we're talking about the splits. So how would you talk about the splits with Nerds? Because it seems like they have, I'm not keeping up much, but they have like 3 to 4 hosts on Nerds.
Well,
They're not making enough numbers like Milkers.
Dude, every time I talk to them about the splits, I'm like, hey, we need to do something. They're like, we don't care about the money. Just, we all want to be on here. We're a family. I'm like, okay.
Okay, Fast and Furious.
I mean,
No,
it's
no,
just like, I'm issuing out like $150 checks to Glammy for an entire month's work. It's just, at some point, it just doesn't seem fair. I mean, I know that's an exaggeration. It's obviously more than that, but still, you know, like.
Well, that's,
I mean, if they have a day job of some sort, then I don't feel like they would mind, but eventually they would have to cut even some way somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. They'll figure it out, and you know, whatever happens, happens.
Somebody asked if I'm buying out wings. I don't know yet. We are probably having a big, long talk with Wings today or after Fat Camp. I'm not really sure. Me and Boogie did shoot him a text yesterday and told him once again that we would help him navigate this. But, you know, obviously, you know, it's one of those things where we just don't know. We never planned for anything like this to happen. Could not see it. I don't know how, because there were warning signs. But now we gotta still figure it out. It's gonna be a long process. I don't like to, when it's something like this big, I don't like to make fast decisions.
Definitely not.
It's a very complicated issue as well.
Yeah, no. Some like the other people were saying how like they wish I did more because I was there, whatever, and I was like, there was a lot going through my head at one time, and it was such a tight, small space. Like if I were to try to like bulldoze my way in there or something, people really could have got hurt, because if I just like flipped a switch, I would have just tried to clear, and I didn't want to do that just because of what was happening. And you know, let's just say, like, for the sake of example, like I caught Wings and dropped him, right? I'm trespassed, I'm in jail, and it's just a much worse situation than what it is, right? Like it's not as cut and dry as people want to make it, you know? Like,
well, one of the last things Wings said to me, it was just this morning. He texted me and he goes, I'm not a woman beater, you know, I don't do that. But it wouldn't have mattered who was in front of me. I was pushing through. So, you know, I believe that. I don't think he knew he was pushing Kelly. I think he was just pushing anyone in front of him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way. I don't know.
I was behind the camera and I could see the look of bewilderment, legitimately bewilderment whenever that happened. Everybody screaming at him, yo, that's your wife. There is some truth to that, but at the same time, there's just no way to truly defend this.
Oh no,
it's very complicated. Also, like they're gonna have to deal with a lot of social turmoil, things that you cannot deal with yourself. He is your friend, he is a business partner. This is going to be really weird to see how people handle in the public eye, because there are a lot of people still defending him. There are a lot of people that said like, oh, you guys showed the other video of the car situation and like that's not a big deal. Like there are a lot of talks right now, and it's just interesting to see how this will play out in a month or two time.
Well, the car video is not crazy, but it's still like, it kind of like, oh, maybe this wasn't a moment of rage. Maybe there is something going on
underneath. Because
you
not
know,
only that, like it doesn't matter what Wings says at this moment. It was captured on camera, and not only that, there's hundreds of channels hundreds of channels that are now commenting and showing that over and over and over again and adding their own like opinions to it.
Yep.
So in general, it's making it even more convoluted, more complicated.
When me and Wings got into it, right, and we're in that pushing match, I'm like, damn, we're going viral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I was not mad. I was like, okay, he needs to calm down type of shit. And like, I knew I was like bleeding or whatever. I was like, scratch, fuck off.
Nobody really cared at that moment. Like, it was just two bros like duking it out. But once that moment happened, there was like a silence. There was a thud and then a silence.
When the Kelly incident happened, everyone here was literally scared. You could look at anyone's face and they were like, you know, people were terrified. Because it's like, if he's moving forward, you can't stop him. You know, he's just too big. You know, there's no stopping him. So everyone around here was like terrified. And it took a long time to get him to just leave. Like, go to
Yep.
your goddamn cabin, you know?
I was trying to. So before they even kept it, I was trying to walk with him and like walk him out and talk to him, and then he just heard what y'all were saying, and then that's when he basically stormed. And then the one thing that I told people this too on the other stream is when Boogie just kept antagonizing him and just trying to like make it about him, I was like, bro, shut the fuck up, let him walk away. And then Xylee even got in his face, you know, like this ain't the time for that. You know, just let him leave. But so we got 2 donos real quick. Brad the Don, W King, W Ken, W Beans, W King. Appreciate you. And then RZ the Legend again. Even if Wings didn't mean to push Kelly, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. What it is. It only matters what it looks like. And that's the whole thing we were saying. Like behind the scenes is optics, right? It's all about the optics. Like it can be anything it wants to be, but if someone can paint the worst possible narrative over a visual, they are, because again, drama. So
Here's the thing, though.
yeah,
Someone could have been arrested. Someone could have been seriously hurt. That whole horrible incident resulted better than it could have been. It could have been
Facts.
bad, like
Facts.
real bad. Not that it wasn't bad. Don't take me the wrong way, but it could have been bad.
yep, could have been a lot worse. Exactly like you said.
All right, guys, I got to go do my drama alert. Shout out to the cafe.
Appreciate it.
I cannot wait to get this coffee on sale so you guys can get it. It's amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Smells really good. I've been itching to get some.
Please tell me how
But
it
in
tastes.
general, I don't know how to describe it. I'm a 1 coffee type of gal,
This
but I
what-
guess I'm gonna be 2 coffee type gal now.
This is what you do,
But
Beans.
yeah.
You get a mason
Yes.
jar, you tighten that bitch down, you tape it up, and you ship it to me.
The coffee already made, it's gonna get stale.
I don't care. I want to try it.
You're gonna get a full bag just to yourself. And you can brew it
Fine.
5-10 times a day, and
Fine.
your house will smell amazing.
Fine.
I think this is gonna be an addiction of some sort. Because I'm not joking. The sliding door that you saw before, open. He's sitting right here. The cup is right there. And the breeze was just wafting to my face.
Yep.
And I'm just like, my coffee's cold. I wish I had that coffee. Like I was about to reach over and, but I'm not going to do that.
Yep.
That's weird.
Steady
Let's not do
Unashamed with 5 gifted members. Appreciate you, Steady Unashamed. I hope you guys thank them for the gifted memberships. So I know this is the first stream with me back. You wanted to talk about the stuff because, yes, it was eventful. But tomorrow, we're going to get back to basics, Beans. We need to get back to basics.
Hopefully. I miss the basics. The basics is my comfort zone. I need a little bit of comfort in my life.
Yep.
Especially with what happened.
Also,
Yes.
we had 2 docket team members that stepped away for whatever reason. So we only have 2 now, and it's Seek and Brad the Don. So if anyone wants to help out, reach out to me or just in the Discord tag at Cafe Docket. That way, everyone will see it.
Yeah, am I just not privy to the cafe chat, or was this like done separately and I just
No,
don't
it was in the cafe chat. It was in cafe chat.
Okay, then I'm just too stressed out with what's happening to really pay attention to cafe chat lately. But
so 2 minutes.
I'm sad to hear it, but
So 2 things before I addressed. Ken, how much will the coffee be when they go on sale? I don't know when I can release that, but I'm telling you guys, it's a very reasonable price, and we're going to leave it at that. Ken, what are your thoughts on Jaffe crashing out on Beans the other day? We talked about that, and Jaffe came on Cafe, and we discussed it. So if you want to check that out, handle it. And then, Ken, did you have a good time? That's a very mixed question. What I will say is there were good times. Obviously, there were bad times. Do I regret it? No. But will I be doing something like that again? Depending on who's going to be there, probably not. So before we take off, let me check the redirect to see if Jaffe is ready to roll. And Hell House is for real this time, so he is ready to roll. The redirect is in there. And they're going to make it happen.
Madhouse has been interesting to say the least. I don't know what this new arc is, but Go off, baby grandpa.
Oh yeah. So, thank you for being here, all 771 or 82 of you. It means the world to us. Hopefully, you all are still here after Fat Camp because this show is a vibe. This show really is a vibe. It's not like the other shows. It's not meant to be like the other shows. And what's up, Miss Bunny? We're about to send it your way.
Okay. Jeffy wanted me to come say hello and that he loves you so much, Beans.
There it is.
I love Jaffe too.
We appreciate it. It's noon. We're going to send it your way now. But yeah, the redirect is in there, so y'all should be good. Beautiful. All right, guys. Till next time, have a good one. We love you. And head on over to Madhouse. We're going to send you there right now.